So I'm working on setting up Instagram here too. There we go. Hey guys, it's Katy from Redheads Unraveled. Yay! Here again. It's been a while since I chatted with everybody, but Amanda's been busy changing jobs and starting her new one, and I have been busy knitting. So yeah, and right now we're dealing with some ice outside the window. Right now it's just freezing rain, but it's been dropping well below freezing all day. So a little interesting, definitely interesting. And so I was like, well, I'll come on and chat because I was going to miss my classes today, and I'm not taking the risk of driving over to Rogers while it's nasty out there, because it looked like it was going to be cold and rainy and gross all the way over there. And ice and snow is just really not fun to drive on, especially on Highway 62. So, that's just part of being here, part of living where we live, and we enjoy it. So, I wanted to chit chat with you. So this is the hat today that I was going to be showing you guys to walk through the pattern. It's super awesome. I love knitting it. It goes really, really fast once you get going. What does not go fast is this 2-inch brim. You're like, really? This goes on forever and ever. And so that's the only thing that didn't really speed along. But once I got it going, it went pretty fast once I got going at it. It took me about a day and a half. A pretty intense knitting. So really started working on it on Sunday, and then Monday finished it up. Got to wear it to knit group on Tuesday and had a good time with that. So put that back on. Anyway, the pattern is Sea Glass Stories by Lettice Knits, Lettice Knits, LETE''S KIKNITS, Lettice Knits, and you can find her on Instagram and Ravelry under those names. Justina is her first name, and I will totally butcher her last name, but she's super awesome and writes really great patterns. I really enjoy her patterns. I've knit a few of them. The Close to You shawl that we do in the learning continental knitting, that's a great one to start with for anybody who's interested in doing continental knitting or being involved with that. It's just a lot of fun to kind of be to learn and devote an entire project to just learning how to continental knit. This one is not a great one for just doing continental knit because the majority of it is done in purls, so I wouldn't recommend that. But I do love knitting the pattern. 1x1 cables is the main patterning part, and then it's set off with the purling background, and in the middle you have bobbles. So I have my webpage set up for it. If you're interested in taking the class, maybe later, let me know, and we'll set it up so you have access to those videos about the 1x1 cables, the 1x1x1 left-leaning cable, which is where it crosses right here in the middle. And then that's pretty much the only really exciting. Oh, and the bobbles. Those are the only really exciting things. I use a German twisted cast on. I like how stretchy it is. Fits really nicely. I have a really big head. Actually, it's not a really big head. I have a lot of hair to put on my head, and so it's one of those things that I try to make sure everything's big enough to fit my husband, because you never know when he might pick up a hat or two. Today I'm drinking Zest Wishes again. Yum! I love this mug. It's like one of my favorite ones. It has alpacas on it. It's so cute. So since we talked last, let's see, Amanda and I attended Vogue Knitting Live. I think you guys caught a couple of those videos going on, and there was only a couple. we're kind of distracted by all the people and all the things that were going on, and so it was like, wow, there's so much to look at and do and take care of. And so she did some super cool dyeing. I can't wait to see that. And I did that steeking class, and so I cut up a sweater, and it looks gorgeous, and I wear it all the time now. Like, I've seriously worn it more days in the last 3 weeks than I had ever worn it before, and I knit it in 2012. So I am Really, really happy with my Seeking class. I have half a sleeve left on my Moraine, which is my Strange Brew sweater. It's getting there. I just got to sit down and work on it. Right now, I am trying my hardest to finish up the building with lace. Today was supposed to be blocking class day, so I thought I would touch on that for a sec. I am not sponsored. We are not sponsored by anybody. We talk about the things we really like. And so these are things that I really like. The knit blockers from Knitter's Pride. I just have the plain white ones because that's all I had at the time. They didn't have the rainbow ones when I originally started using these. But they're like T-pins, but better because they do a whole line of knitting at the same, like a whole line of holding out your knitting at the same time. And I really like them. They're really handy for shawls and for sweaters and really pulling the patterns out so you get the nice pretty lace. And I really, really enjoy using them. Using them in conjunction. Those are what I use there. Let me put the lid back on so I don't lose that. I use those in conjunction with T-pins, which T-pins are exactly what they sound like. They are straight pins with T's, like that end with a T on the top, a T-bar. Like these. You guys first. So I'm doing a YouTube live video and an Instagram live video. So this is really, really interesting. I have two cameras. They're positioned exactly above each other. Okay, so T-pins. Stainless steel. Make sure you clean them when you get them. Just wipe them off down. Otherwise, sometimes the machining oil can get off on your knits on your first project. So I bought this really nice kit from Amazon. Sorry, guys. It came with a super flexi wire. I haven't used the flexi wire yet, but anything that has like a curved edge, this is really nice for, or like goes multiple directions. So if you're like trying to get the shaping on like a sweater and you need it to curve in and then curve out, or a dress or something like that, this is really handy for that. Oh, Jack's got things to say. I don't know what he's barking about. Anyway, we're going to ignore Jack for a minute. This is what you'll need for blocking. I really don't know what's Jack, but Jack today. Oh, no, it's the other end. Okay. Also ordered from Amazon. Bottom of the tube. They come in this tube. And now I can't get the lid off because that's how this is going to go today. These are blocking wires. Blocking wires are really, really easy to use. People are really intimidated by them, but they're super handy, and they make blocking so much easier than you really thought it needed to be. So, than you really thought it would be. Highly recommend blocking on like everything you make. The only thing I don't block is socks. I really can't get the lid off this. There we go. Okay. Which I don't really care if you block socks or not. I do own sock blockers and I do use them. But I don't feel like it makes like a huge difference one way or the other if you do use them or not. Usually when like the socks are clean. All right, these are blocking wires. They are, this set is 32 and 36 inches long, I believe. No, they're all 36. Okay. And the way you use them is really cool. And I apparently didn't grab any knitting when I stepped over here. But let me step away for 2 seconds. I'm going to keep talking to you. I'm all the way over here on the couch. Because the couch is where I live when Dean's not home. All right, so here's my building with lace. Yay! I have finally made it to the last actual block section. Go me! It is crazy daisy long. Check that out. It goes on. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's a good 6.5 foot long right now. I have another section to knit, so about 6 more inches, 8 more inches there. And then the border, which is ended up being like 4 or 5 inches on each end, depending on how loosely you knit the border. It's adding quite a bit. So if you've been following along, you know that whenever you're knitting something like this, you have like this edge, right? So you basically, what's going to happen is you're going to take these wires, ta-da, and you're going to bunch this up. You're going to pick the long side, bunch it up, and then you're going to weave your wires, and do this when it's dry. Don't do this when it's wet. It's a pain to do it when it's wet. You will be crying and sad if you do it when it's wet. All right, and you're just going to feed it through the edge here. And I like to alternate front and back, like weaving kind of setup. Sometimes I like to go a couple of stitches in just so that it gives it a nice tension. But just for this example, you don't have to do every stitch. You can do every third, every fifth, whatever makes you comfortable. I kind of like going smaller intervals because then it feels like it's more consistent. So once you get it woven on there, and you're going to need more than one wire for this, but what you can do is put as much on here as you can. So stretch it out as you do it, and then check and see how much you have enough length. Leave a couple inches on each end open, so that way you have a little bit of wiggle room. And then you're going to lay it down on your blocking mats. So blocking mats, I have one out. My blocking wires and this and the extra T-pins, they came in this super nifty bag. It looks like this. And it came with new set of mats. And I have 2 sets of mats. I think my other one's actually, this is the old set, but that's okay. My new set actually has like measurements on it. Anyway, so this is my old knit pick set, which the knit picks don't fit into my new set. So I do have to lay them like next to each other. So it's something to keep in mind, especially if you have a cat like I do who likes to lay on your wet knitting. Sam loves to sleep on my wet knitting, and he really likes to knock it off any kind of high surface that I have it propped up on, including the bed, or really if I have it on 2 mats, then he tries to separate the mats. And I'm like, really, Sam? That's really annoying. But, you know, that's how that goes. Anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your mat. It's going to be laying out, right? And then you have your shawl. This is really awkward doing it like this. And you're going to hold it here, and then you're going to take your T-pins, and you're not going to pin your T-pins into the wire, or into the actual piece. You're actually going to hold them to the wire, and the wire is what's going to hold tension and keep your edges straight. So the same thing works with the tips on the end of this project. You know, you're doing this applied border, and you're adding those sawtooths, right? So the sawtooth goes up and down like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to feed the wire through the tip of that sawtooth. So where it comes to a point, you're going to feed the wire through the tips and then pull the wire up. I would also put a wire through the bottom. So like through the last row of your knitting, basically. So like the tip, and then at the bottom of the tip where it's flat against the rest of the shawl, the 8 stitches, you know, you're going to put your wire through that as well. And that's going to give your edge stability. She recommends using a steamer in the book. And like I said, I'm talking about the Building with Lace shawl, Michelle Hunter. I do steam stuff sometimes, especially if it's something big like this. It's a lot to kind of tackle putting in the water and then making sure it soaks long enough and everything. But what you can do instead is, if you're uncomfortable using the steamer and the steam setting on your iron, spritz it with water, like thoroughly soak your piece with water. You can use like one of those spray bottles, you know, like the ones that you get to discipline your cat. Do that. We may have a few of those around here. And so when you have that going, you can lay it out. Then it will kind of give some stretch to it as well. If you do want to soak it, because, you know, I've been carrying that one around like everywhere. I mean, it's been to like 10 states and 17 airplanes and I don't know where else. It's really gross. So I'm probably going to wash it. I'm going to soak it and get the gunk off of it because it's really not very pretty at the moment. It's kind of discolored with all the dirt and everything. Just in general, I mean, if you want to just wash those. What you're going to do is fill your tub whatever tub basin you have that you want to use with lukewarm water. Put a little bit of soak in there. I usually use the whole pack, like the travel packs, if you have those. Eucalyptus works great too, or any other wool wash that you like. And it's only like a teaspoon, maybe 2 at the most for the gallon of water. So, and usually out of that, I'll do my shawl first, and then I'll put my socks in, and then I'll do, put new things first, and then I'll do my things that just need to be cleaned or freshened up after that, if the water isn't too icky after I pull things. So where was that? Oh yeah, put in the water, put soap in, or put your soap in, and then put there's yarn on the floor. Water, soak. I like it to set up. It's my favorite thing about it. I don't know why, but it doesn't really need to, so don't worry about it. Then put your piece in. Now, what's going to be really fun is that you're going to thread your wires while the piece is dry, and then you're going to take it and you're going to submerge it in the water with the wires on it. Yes, that's what I said. That is exactly what I said. Put it on dry, then put it in the water. Soak for about 10-15 minutes. And then what you're going to do is get out as much of the water as possible. Have some towels handy, like those big fluffy ones that you really just love wrapping up in. The ones that dry you really fast, that's what you want to use. You can also use like sheets or something like that if you have it around. But lay those out, then pick your wet mass up, which is, it's going to be quite the mass at this point. It's going to weigh quite a bit. With the wires hanging off the top. If you're having a hard time controlling the wires, take them and you're going to basically turn them all the same direction so that they're like this. And you can put like a hair tie on the end of it or a clippy or something to hold that together. So that way you're not like, oh my gosh, why are these wires everywhere? It's going to make this part, the actual shawl part, look cray-cray, but it's okay. It's going to be best in the long run for you to do that. So once you get that going, and you have that all secured, and you're drying off you're wringing all the water, not wringing, when you're pressing all the water out of your shawl, don't wring. Wringing is bad. Don't do it. It makes things weird. Really, really weird. Don't do it. Press all the water out. Sit on it, walk on it, have your cat sit on it, whatever makes you happy. Don't run over it, really. It's not really preferable, but you could. Press as much water out as you can. Change the towel if you need to, whatever you need to do. Once it is, it's still going to be wet, but once it is a little more manageable and just not like dripping water, then you're ready to take it and lay it out. So you'll take that, lay out your mats on the floor, or queen size bed works really, really well if you don't have mats. Lay it all out, and then you're going to take your pins and you're going to push them in, and you're going to pull the lace out. So you're going to make the lace pop. This is the time when you're going to pull and you're going to make the noops pop out, and you're going to make the baubles pop out. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Susan. Hi, Tiffany. You're going to make those baubles pop. So you're going to kind of manipulate them until they kind of push up to the top of the fabric. Any holes that like aren't really showing up the way you want to, just take your pinky finger and kind of open the holes up. And then once you get it to where it looks even and flat, and the baubles or noops are standing up the way you want them to, and everything's looking pretty, stop, walk away, and close the door without the cat in the room. I say this like, that's common sense, but yeah, the whole cat in the room thing, that kills you every time. Sam really loves to lay on my stuff, and there's a shawl that I have that he really he did a number on when I left it on the dining room table last year, and so it's got a really funky blocking point in it because he knocked the boards off, and so it was like dangling off of a T-pin, and it was weird. And anyway, I haven't reblocked that yet. I should probably do that soon. Yeah, since I got new wires, I think I'll do that soon. Okay, so I talked about blocking. Let it dry as much as you can. So you're gonna let it dry for like ever. It's gonna seem like a crazy amount of time, and then you're going to. It's like 24 to 48 hours usually. If you have the heat on in the room, it's usually nice. Fans help too. So if you have the fan going, but it should dry, and then you'll be ready to wear it. Carefully take your pins out first, and then pull your wires very carefully. Video paused. It's reconnecting, guys. So take the wires out very, very carefully and then lay them to the side. Make sure you wipe them down whenever you're done, because any of that residue you have on there, you don't want it on there. Wipe off the wires when you're all done with them. Okay, so that was the whole this is how to block discussion. All right. And Amanda may have some more advice to that later. We'll see. She's a much better follower of rules than I am. I sometimes I don't really. I just want to get it done. It just happens. Anyway. Hey, Betsy. How's it going? Hope you're doing okay. Hope that kid's feeling better. All right. Let's see. Do y'all have any questions about sea glass stories? Or building with lace, or I don't know, life. It's so fun. I've never actually had anyone interact with me on the live video, so this is great. And Betsy said hello, yay! And I, like I was saying earlier, I do have my live stream on YouTube going at the same time I have my live stream on Instagram, which is really interesting. So you guys can come back and watch this later and listen to me chat about absolutely nothing. Ooh. Betsy's saying that her kid has strep, so that's no fun. I hope he feels better soon. Get some tea going in that kid. But she's got some happy knitting time going now, because that's what you do apparently when you have chill kids. Okay, what else was I going to tell you guys about? So the other day I laid out all the yarn I had acquired since Christmas, and it fits barely on a 4 foot by 4 foot table. So, I have a lot of yarn to show y'all when, Amanda and I get back together and do yarn. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek because I do enjoy this so much. Oh, I'm still here. There it is. Okay. So this is the last one of this, and I am so glad I snagged it because I already had one in my stash, and I really needed the second. This is Dream in Color Smushy with cashmere, and this is their pop-up shop, Skein Club shop from October, and it is the prettiest colors. I don't know if you guys can see how pretty these are. Let's see if I can make the light not be crazy. Is that better? What do you guys think? Ooh, yeah, that's pretty. Okay, so it's got like these purples and magentas and greens and teals and blues, and it's just so lovely. Squish, squish. So I got another one of these skeins because I needed it. Okay, maybe I didn't need it, but I really, really wanted it, so I got it. And what else is really fun in here? My friend down in Conway, the yarn store down there has restructured their business, and so now they are going to be open only sometimes. They're still going to be doing their knit nights, but they're also going to be doing trunk shows, so she can solely focus on making felted soap, and that's the Twisted Pearl in Conway. And so while they were getting rid of some of their yarn, selling out on the yarn store part, I went down with a friend from the knit group in Rogers, and I bought a couple of skeins. And this is from the Naughty Acorn, and I believe that she is out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. And this is her sock. This is the Foxy sock fingering, and I really love this color. Instagram video is pretty true to color on that one, but the YouTube one isn't. But it's kind of like this aqua color. It's a little more green to it than it's showing up. It's really pretty. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm really, really liking it. It's super nice and super soft. I picked up this awesome Arkansas Yarn Co. fingering weight from Knit Two Together. And this was their exclusive colorway. It's got this super great splash of color right there. And then it is like lime green, guys. It is fluorescent and amazing. I'm way excited about that one. I think it's going to be socks or maybe a sock head. I haven't really decided yet. It needs to be one of those things. Definitely a sock or a sock head. Let's see. I picked up this while you're in Florida. While I was in Florida last week or 2 weeks ago. It's Barocco Sky. I haven't really seen it too many places. 37% wool, 35% viscose, which is kind of like bamboo, sort of kind of. 20% yak and 8% nylon. So it is like heavenly to touch. It's super squishy and absolutely gorgeous. It is this greenish gray color, and I'm really liking it. And then because I was like super on this brioche kick when I bought it, I had to buy a complimentary skein. And so I got this charcoal gray in the same like yarn line. So, and I got these at Yarn Store in Jacksonville, a Twist in Time, I believe. Anyway, super awesome little yarn store. Really enjoyed visiting. They were really nice to me and my friend. Yeah, only yarn store in Jacksonville, Florida. Who knew? Apparently, Florida just doesn't have very many yarn stores. If you ever get a chance, though, definitely check out the one in Winter Haven, south of Orlando, the Four Pearls. Love her. Love her stuff. Her daughter is the one who does Emma's yarns, and they're fabulous. So highly recommend if you get a chance to go down there, check that out. So also in my little travelings, I went over to a knit group over in Bull Shoals, Arkansas, and they are super cool. I really enjoy them, and I picked up some more Barocco there, and this is the Blackstone Tweed. And it is this gorgeous teal tweedy colorway. It is way more green than is showing up on these screens, guys. I'm sorry. It's hard to see. It's just too much light in here, which I'm really glad of because that means that it's hopefully not sticking, maybe. I don't know. I gotta pick up Dean a little bit, so. But this is really pretty. It's like an Aran weight, wool, mohair, and Angora. Yeah, I know, right? And super reasonably priced. Got it at Gabrielle's Knitting and Flower Shop in Bull Shoals. There's a knit group that meets there Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure. And she's only open till like 3. So if you're looking for something to do in that area, around the lakes, highly recommend going and seeing our friends there. So I got a couple of skeins of that, and I'm going to be doing a lace little cowl, nothing fancy, just a little bit of introduction to chart reading. Okay, also from the Twisted Pearl in Conway, picked up this Frolicking Feet Transitions from Doan Roving. And how fabulous is that gradient? Oh my gosh, look at that rainbow, hot pink, rainbow, and lime green. I mean, it's just like, how could you not buy this, right? Like, it's just, man, I gotta be a shawl. I'm kind of leaning toward a one skeiner and maybe something like Close to You or something that's going to use all of it. So Age of Brass and Steam, Boneyard, something like that. I don't know. I just feel like it needs to be all by itself and totally amazing. Yeah, definitely. 480 yards. The colorway is called Jelly Beans. So if you're looking for more of that, and like I said, that's from Doan Roving Yarns. And that is the Frolicking Feet Transitions. It's going to be a fun self-striper. All right. What else did I get from there? Oh, I got... Isn't that yarn fabulous? It's just so bright. Betsy says that she needs that yarn. I agree. I needed it too. Savvy Skeins, also out of Arkansas. I'm not sure where. I think maybe she's in Conway. I'm not positive. This is Caprice on her Sensible Sock base. It is purples and grays, and it is so much me. And then there's like these little highlights of hot pink. And it is absolutely so much fun. I really had a lot of fun going to the yarn store and picking out like just things that were no one else wanted, I guess. I don't know. No, not that no one else wanted, but that were kind of the last of that brand or whatever. So these were the last skeins, and they were just a lot of fun to buy. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that seems right. And I don't know. When Amanda and I do our recap this weekend or next weekend, I from Voguing Live and this month's chat, I will go over what else I got at Voguing Live. And Amanda bought some gorgeous stuff at Voguing Live. Oh my gosh, that Namaste bag is ridiculous. You guys are gonna love it. Yeah. Oh, tea. I'm drinking Zest Wishes in my color change mug with alpacas on it. And Zest Wishes is from David's Tea. And it is so good. It's orange and cinnamon and a little bit of black tea in there. So it's just enough, like, teeny tiny bit of caffeine. Mostly it's just like, wow, that's a lot of cinnamon and it tastes great. So really good if you're looking for a tea. My super happy awesomeness of the day is while we were voting live, I bought new Lolo bar. The orange vanilla is one of my favorites. I had it in the mini, and now I picked it up in the bigger one, and I'm so excited about it. Because my sunshine is almost gone, and I love sunshine too. I don't really know why anyone would orphan that jelly bean yarn, but seriously, it is like eye-searingly fabulous. I kind of want to rewind it just so that I can like see all the colors. And yeah. Like, why wouldn't I want to do that? Yeah, but the rainbow is like super bright. The colors are super poppy. It's going to be little short gradients. And the very middle of the ball is actually the rainbow too. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is. I don't know. Betsy may steal it out of my bag if I ended up taking it to her lessons later this week. Okay. Well, I should get back to knitting because, you know, the shawl ain't going to knit itself. Let's see where I'm at. You guys can laugh because... Okay. Sorry, you get the whole back side of me because that's what I'm doing right now. All right. So the building with lace, like I said, it's like 6.5 foot long now or something like that. Crazy long. We did all kinds of beautiful things. That's the wrong side that you guys are seeing. All right, we started off way down here with lace basics. And then we did baubles. And then we did smocking, I think. No, those are wrap stitches. We did wraps. And then we did cables and lace, which is probably one of my favorite sections is the cable and lace. Tiffany loves this section too. She's like, I'm going to knit a whole shawl just out of that cables and lace thing because it's so pretty. And then in the middle, we did beads. So there's supposed to be a whole lot more beads on here, but this is where I did them. Right here in the middles. I don't know if you guys can see the pretty sparklies in there, but they're there. This one is the smocking. Then circular designs. So making circular patterny looking things out of, you know, graphic knitting because, you know, knitting is more of like the square box thing but the whole, we want circles in our pretty knitting. So it's all about increases and decreases really close to each other. It's going to be really pretty once block. And then I just finished the Noops section Yes, I finished it, guys. I'm done. Yay! I have one more section. It's the patterning on both sides. So that means you're reading the chart both ways and then adding yarn overs and all the different stuff that goes along with that in that last section together. So reading a chart with different, same symbols meaning different things on each side. And then applied border will be last. And if you've been coming to class, then you know that we got through one side of the applied border last time. And today we were going to pick up this provisional cast on, which I'm super worried about, but we're going to make it work, guys. So I'm going to actually pull out another needle and go ahead and pick this up pretty soon, as soon as I finish what I'm working on right now, as soon as I finish this last section. And I'll probably do my provisional edge first. So hopefully by that point, we'll have a shawl in the next week, guys, and it'll all be blocked and beautiful. This provisional cast on was way fun. Definitely check it out if you're interested in doing it. We did the crocheted one. So if you're like, I need to do something new, this might be something you might really enjoy doing. And it's great for like joining things. So if you do a cowl, do a provisional cast on, and then you can 3 needle bind off it together at the end. So that way, you know, it's all one piece. 3 needle bind off or do a Kitchener. Yeah, that would work really great. Anyway, okay. That is literally all I'm working on right now. Oh, no, it's not. I have 2 pairs of socks going and the one arm of my Moraine sweater. But that is it. I am not very exciting this week. Hopefully, by the time I chit-chat with Amanda, I will have all new projects. All new projects. I finished 3 this past week. I finished a small cowl for Red Scotty Fibers. I finished this hat. And I finished a brioche hat that there is no pattern for because I'm writing it. And I'm really slow about that, so I'm sorry. It'll be here soon. If you're interested in that pattern and being the first one to see it, I will be releasing it with my 2-color brioche class at Red Scotty Fibers in Eureka Springs mid-March. So there you go. That is all the exciting things I have to say today. All right. I'm going to go now because I've been chatting now for 37 minutes. It's a long time in Katy land. All right. Get you some tea. Stay warm because it's literally gross out there. It's like 31 and like spitting rain. And it's just gross. So gross. It got above freezing. And so when I let the dog out a while ago, like he didn't slide off the porch like he did the first time this morning. But if you can see the grill back there, yeah, there's icicles and they're about yay long, about 2 to 3 inches long now. So, yeah. I gotta pick up Dean a little bit too. Yeah. Anyway, y'all have a super duper wonderful day. Betsy, I know you're there. I'll see you soon, okay? And who else is here? Bye, Cindy. Enjoy your day too. Bye, guys. Okay, let's see. End. And end.